Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the February 5th meeting, work session of the Jackson County Board of Education. Call it to order. This time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Philip Brown for superintendent's comments.
Good evening, board. Good evening, community. Good evening, staff. A few reminders. Star Student and Teacher Banquet is coming up Monday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. We'll honor our star teachers, star students, star teachers, and teachers of the year. That will be held at the Jackson County Ag Facility. As we continue to grow, we have been at the Jefferson Civic Center, but I think we've outgrown that facility. So headed to the Jackson County Ag Facility for that meeting. Reminder also, board, that our board retreat will be March 21st, 2025. We'll continue to do what we've done in years past and travel to different schools as well as check out our construction site on 332 and Boone Road. I do want to say thank you to the community and parents. We've had significant weather issues over the last 2 weeks. We had to miss 2 days the week before, and we had to miss Monday of this week. I appreciate everybody's patience. Those are some really challenging decisions to figure out whether or not to have school or not. I want to thank a number of different partners from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the Jackson County government. Our Jackson County Roads Department was significant in helping us to determine whether or not we went to school or not. And other superintendents in the area, we collaborate on those decisions. So big thanks to all those individuals. And hopefully we will have no more weather events, even though it did snow during the school day today. So welcome to Georgia. Dr. Hardigree, teaching and learning.
All right, good evening. It's great to see you all. So last month we brought to you technology in our technology competition. We did have to, that had to kind of flip to a virtual format. But tonight we have another exciting update for you, and we want to share a little bit about the amazing work going on across our district, across all grade levels with robotics. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Wilbanks to share with you some of the great things that we have going on.
Hey, good evening. So I just wanted to start by giving you guys an update. I don't know if you remember back in June, we were sending Gum Springs Elementary. Last year they earned one of 6 spots from all teams in Georgia for LEGO League. This is grades 4 through 8. To a World's Invitational. We took them up to Worcester, Massachusetts, and they competed against over 100 teams from all around the world, from Australia, Korea, France, I mean, just literally from everywhere. And they were one of only 8 teams from the whole event that were selected to present their innovation project on the main stage at closing ceremonies in front of thousands of people. They grabbed those mics, they didn't skip a beat, it was amazing. And they also won one of only the 5 Judges Awards for innovation in their projects. So we had a great time up there. It was a wonderful experience for them and for us. That's the... All right, and so this year we are continuing everything we're doing with LEGO League and robotics. We actually hosted our first official regional qualifier here at Empower back in December. So we had 12 teams from around the state of Georgia. About half those teams were Jackson County teams, and then from all other different counties were the other 6 teams. And so from there we sent teams on to super regionals and then some on to state. So we're excited to continue, hopefully, to do that in the future and be a location where that can be housed. So as far as our competitions this year, we have teams at every single one of our elementary schools and middle schools, 2 teams at East Middle and 2 teams at West Middle. And in the regional competitions, we had 3 award winners this year. So East Jackson Elementary School won the Core Values Award. South Jackson won an award for their robot design, and West Middle won Grand Champion. That means they were ranked either first or second in every single category within the tournament. And so it's really impressive that our teams continue to walk away with these awards because they only give one of these out at each tournament. And so it's really an honor that Jackson County is able to keep on earning those. So then we had 4 teams move on to super regionals. Only about 30% of teams in Georgia move on to super regionals. So East Jackson Elementary, Gum Springs, Heroes, and West Middle. And they competed in those events down in Gwinnett County. East Jackson won the Innovation Project Award there, and West Middle won their Robot Performance Award. And we have 2 teams that are moving on to state. So out of over 400-ish teams in Georgia. Only 60 teams earn a spot at the state competition. We have 2 teams that we're sending. They'll be competing this Saturday at Georgia Tech, West Middle, and Gum Springs Elementary. So we're excited about that. In addition to LEGO League, we have lots of great things going on with computer science. So Mr. Schultz has been wonderful about helping us secure a computer science grant from the Department of Education each year. And so this year we received a $10,000 grant that will support professional learning, which we do in-house for all of our computer science teachers in elementary, middle, and high school. And it also supports the purchasing of devices that they can use in their classroom. So last year we were able to buy various robotics devices for our all of our STEM STEAM classrooms in the elementary school and in the middle school. So we will continue to do that this year. And last but not least, I just wanted to give you an update on our UGA Comms project. So this is a 3-year grant that we are participating with the Departments of Engineering and Mathematics within UGA. COMM stands for Creating Cognitively Demanding, Conceptually Focused Coding Opportunities in Mathematics and Science. And so we are in the 2nd year of this. We've got 13 teachers who are participating, teaching those math and science units in their classrooms. So this summer we will be kind of taking that show on the road and teaching those units to other teachers in other counties so that this project can expand. UGA is still working on all of the research components and analyzing that data, but informally our teachers who have participated have said that the units they are teaching and the scores they're receiving on all the assessments have been much stronger now that they've been incorporating these robotics activities into those math and science units. So we're really excited about that.
All right, any questions for us? It's thank you, Dr. Wilbanks, for your work with that and for presenting tonight. But it truly, those partnerships, our UGA partnership, and just honestly, anytime you see our kids engaged in the work with robotics and the math and the science and, the engineering, they're always just buzzing. And it's, that is when you really see that true engagement and cognitive just thinking and processing. So it's truly something to be proud of and always so much excitement. So I appreciate your work and appreciate you sharing tonight. We also just wanted to keep you in the loop on our pre-K timeline because we're moving right through that. So as you know, December 1st, that registration opened for everybody and has been open, and then we close that out on Valentine's Day. So February 14th, that closes for both the public and also our staff, and then that drawing is on the 13th. I'd just like for you to know what's going on because sometimes you get questions about pre-K out in the community. We'll be communicating with those families shortly after the drawing on March 13th. We'll make sure that they're communicated with in the next day or two and letting them know whether they got drawn or not or where they are on the wait list. And we'll keep that communication going. And our schools then will be ready to kind of receive those families in. And we've got a plan for the schools to also reach out and get those families in hopefully before the end of the year so that they feel a part of that. Ms. Brookshire has kind of taken pre-K under her wing this year, and she's done an amazing job of supporting our pre-K classrooms and communicating and thinking about how we can really just make that a great positive start for all of our families. So good stuff going on. Did I miss anything, Martha, in the process? Okay.
Well, just remind us, I know we added some pre-K classrooms this year.
We did.
How many do we have?
I think we're up to 26. Yeah, I did actually just update that graph for Villa. I should have put it on here tonight, but I think we're up to 26 classrooms. And if you look back 10 years ago, we're up about 15 classrooms from.
Do we anticipate?
I think we're going to hold steady for a minute just because of our space. And we have been able to, just moving in and out, we've been able to pretty much accommodate our families this year. So we're going to hold steady a year and then look at it when we open new schools again. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, but it's been great, and it is wonderful just to be able to get those kids and families in and get them started off right, and we know it makes a big impact in our kindergarten learners too. So, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's crazy to see how far we've come with robotics. And to think about from not having teams to competing locally, district-wide, statewide, nationally.
Because how many years is it now that we've had the robotics? 3?
We're in our 4th year.
Yeah, okay. It's exciting.
All right, Good evening, Board. I'm excited to share some updates about our ongoing hiring season with you guys. Before I get into the slides, though, some exciting news we got this week. We actually have too many substitutes in Jackson County. ESS reached out to us this week and said that they would like to put in a hiring freeze for the rest of this year because we've been able to attract so many great subs, and we want to make sure that they get the work that they are choosing to get into. So it was a great problem to have, so puts us in a good spot for the rest of this year.
I think the first in Jackson County.
And very few districts in the state can say it too, so great news. All right, so this is just a reminder of kind of the phases of our hiring season. We've been thinking about next school year for a while now. Ms. Todd and the Finance Department and the Special Ed Department have been meeting since November to work on allocations and looking at what we get from the state for FTEs as well as projected enrollments for next year to try and make good decisions about how we're spending our money and how many teachers we're putting in those classrooms. We've been meeting with principals this month to go over those allocations and make sure they have what they need. Now we're into the attract phase. So we've got position pools where people can apply for current positions as well as potential positions out there right now, and we've already collected a lot of applications so far. We've been going through to some job fairs, and we hosted our own job fair, and I'll share some data about that in a minute. And then just reminders about upcoming deadlines. We will issue out our contracts in March, and we will ask that any internal transfers are done by our April board meeting. And then remember that we still have the PSC who will not hold anybody to a breach of contract until June. So we have that kind of gap time in there where we try to keep people on the hook here in Jackson County. And then finally, we move into the launch phase because July is going to be here before we know it. And meeting this tomorrow morning with Teaching and Learning to start planning our teacher onboarding for next year. So lots of stuff going on in HR world. From the planning perspective, we are being very conservative with allocations this year. We know we've got to staff 2 new buildings next year. So we're meeting the needs. We're keeping class sizes where we want them to be low so that our teachers are effective, but not overstaffing any of our buildings. From the letters of intent, 98% of our school-based staff said that they intended to return to JCSS. So that's along the same lines as it was in last year's letter of intent. So I expect our retention rate to be about the same as it was, somewhere in the 80s. We know not all 98 are going to stick with us. We can expect a little bit of churn, and that's okay. So far, we've had 16 retirements announced for this year and 8 resignations. So a few more retirements than we saw at this point in the year last year, but nothing unexpected. Recruitment events. We did host our 2026 career fair a couple of weeks ago and had 103 attendees despite the fact that there was a snow coming, or the ice storm was coming. So it was a great turnout. I want to shout out Megan Perry and Robin Mayfield in our office for all the work that they've done. They did to help get that career fair going. We've also attended some university career fairs. We've gone to Georgia College and Mercer. I went down to Mercer today for the first time. That was really exciting. We're going to UGA next week and then the University of Georgia as well. So we're getting a lot of good turnout at those events, a lot of good getting the word out about Jackson County. We get seniors at those, people who are ready to start applying for jobs, but a lot of juniors come to those fairs as well. And I was been able to tell them, when you graduate, we're going to be opening 2 new schools. And it's been really exciting to get the word out about Jackson County in those fairs. So far, we have collected 231 qualified applicants. So these are people that have actually made it into the applicant pool, and we've presented you with 4 certified recommendations tonight. We want to thank you guys for letting us hire early for those retirements and things that we know are coming. We really appreciate that. That helps us get those good candidates on the hook early. And as Dr. Brown likes to remind us, we can afford to be selective, and this number shows it. We really can get the best of the best because of the number of applicants we've got. All right, that's all I've got. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
As Mr. Gerald sits down, one of the things we've done, Board, is partner with our University System of Georgia to get student teachers in all of our schools. Because we've found that when they student teach and they experience the culture and climate in our buildings, they're much more likely to stay here. And that's been very helpful for us across the district at each of our schools.
Have we hired many of those?
We have hired some of those. We've hired, yes, it's worked out well for us. Yeah. And you know, it helps that they already know the building, they already know the community. on-the-job training for 6 months, which has been great for us. Mr. Wester?
Good evening, Board. Thanks for a chance just to touch base on enrollment. Jackson County is still growing. We are back over 11,500 with 11,518 Panthers and Eagles attending class at the end of January. So more students than we've ever had in any January in Jackson County history. So we're excited for that. A lot of our growth that we're seeing since Christmas has been at our elementary schools, if you notice that. And no school really growing more than 10 over the past month, but lots of them growing at that high single digits. And we're just excited to see those families move into our communities and join us, and we're eager to serve them. Any questions about enrollment?
Do you have any idea what we'll be at the beginning of next year?
Is this mic on? Is this being recorded? It's going to be based on interest rates, I think, honestly. If the housing market is favorable and we see interest rates in an area where people are willing to consider selling what they have or coming, I think we could be 11,750 or higher easily. If not, then we'll see a more moderate growth like we saw this past year, maybe another 100 to 150 kids. So we'll be, I believe, somewhere between 11,650 and 11,850 probably next year as we start. But that's just throwing it out there.
I don't know if you're the one that I should ask this. There's just been so much on the news lately about different school systems struggling with absenteeism.
Yes, ma'am.
Has that been a big issue?
It's been a concern nationwide
but
since COVID, for sure. It's just been, for us, we have gotten to a place where we really feel like it's improving for us. During the COVID crisis, we did have, some serious concerns about attendance, but I think through the work of our school leaders with MTSS, PBIS, and some of those pieces, through the work of Mr. Gast and our student services team, we're seeing some improvement there, and we really feel like our data, we track that data every week. So we do track attendance at every school, every grade level, and we're checking that. And we've seen improvement over last year and over the year before. So we are trending in the right direction on attendance. We are, yes, ma'am. It has not been as big a concern for us as it has been for some other systems. Yes, ma'am.
I think we're over 95% per day.
Most days, yes, ma'am.
Yes. And so, and it's up 1% over last year.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Gass? All right.
It's been an area of focus, and we'll continue to try to keep them, with us every day we can get them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Wester, for letting me put you on the spot.
Good evening, Board. So I just thought that since this might be one of my last times to get to present financial information to you, that I might save some really good stuff to tell you tonight. So y'all get ready. So we'll start with our SPLOST, and as you can see, it was over $1.4 million, the largest deposit that we've had in the history of our SPLOST collections. So it's amazing, and it's helping us grow that balance and do some things outside of the pre-K-12 campus that needs to be done. So we're super excited to see that number this month. And then if you want to look at our fund balance, you can see where it is. Amazing number, yes. So if we go through the next 5 months, kind of at the same pace that we have in the past several years, then I am positive that we'll end at our goal of $35 million, which was our goal for this year, so that we could plan and get ready and build up some of that fund balance for the opening of those 2 new schools in '27. So that was a great number to see, and like I say it quite often, our tax commissioner's office has done a great job collecting those property tax revenues, even with some late bills having to be redone and those getting sent out and due late. We're still at 90% collections at this point in the year, which is really, really, really amazing.
Well, it was exciting for me to track this back in '21. I mean, this is pretty amazing.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Well, and Ms. Wheeler, you bring up a great point, because as you look at it, you think about some of the things that we've been able to get done together. And, the FY23 June and FY24 June, and the difference in that, and just thinking about that we we opened Legacy without any debt, and we built Heroes without any debt. And to be able to come out of it where we're at right now says a lot about this board and the planning that's taken place. So.
You've had good leadership. Appreciate it.
And then if you want to look at our financial summary, you can see that we are at 58% of the year completed, and we have collected 72% of our budgeted revenues, so that helps with that fund balance. And then you can see that our overall expenditures are actually below where we are at this point in the year. So we've completed 58% of the year, but only spent 56% of our budget. So both of those things together helped us get to that nice little $57 million.
Well, and I know in the last few years, the county has done a really good job of sending us money over as soon as they possibly can. Isn't this about average for them by now? We would have close to 90%?
Yes. And usually at the end of the year, we're actually, I've honestly never seen, when I've been in different school systems, seen that we're close to 100%. Like it's somewhere between 97 and 100, and that's almost unheard of. So they do an amazing job. Any questions?
On these plots, have the new percentages started yet?
No. I'm not sure. It depends which thing happens first. It depends if the 5-year mark hits or if the collection max, which right now, the way that we're going, I expect the current SPLOST series to end probably the June 30, 26 quarter. So this upcoming June, the end of that quarter, and then so our new distribution and new collection percentage would start in July.
What is our percentage increase to?
65, a little over 65% from 61. So,
Nice.
yes.
Nice job.
Yes, you'll be able to see a pretty decent change in those numbers, so. All right, thank you.
Dr. Board, Brown, I appreciate y'all allowing me to come and give you a project update for this month. I will say that the weather has been a little tricky this month for us, but we continue to move forward and make good progress on our site. The picture you can see, the mass grading is continuing. The backfill behind the foundation wall at the high school continues on. We did have our first slab pour, and it was a successful pour, around 516 yards. So very proud of what's happening and going on. Some of the pictures you can see, the psych work utilities and storm drainage, like I said, backfill behind the foundation wall. And also, too, this is the picture of our first slab pour down at the high school in front of the foundation wall. And also, too, at the bottom, you can see our asphalt binder going down. And also, if you notice, you can see the construction entrance off of 332 that hopefully soon will be opened up and being used and utilized. Curb and gutter continues around the backside of our site, and it will continue to wrap around the road that goes from the front all the way around to Boone Road entrance. The bottom here is the elementary school. The MEPs are going on under slab. The electrical, the plumbing, all continues at a good pace, like I said, despite the weather. So we continue to press on and mitigate the winter storms that have seemed to hit us the last couple of weeks. Any questions?
Has that put us behind?
No, ma'am.
Still on schedule?
No, ma'am. We are still on schedule. Right. And we continue to push forward to get ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So,
Looks good.
all right, thank you. Do have one more thing to bring forward the board tonight, recommendation. Based on request for quotes for the construction of an ROTC auxiliary building was issued, and 2 companies submitted written proposals, the Chattahoochee Group and also Penco Outdoors. And following a thorough evaluation of both proposals, we would like to a recommendation based on cost, responsiveness, and responsibility. This is to construct a new ROTC building to support instructional, training, and competitive activities. by providing a dedicated space for teaching, practice, and program development. Our recommendation, once again for your consideration, is to award the contract for the construction of this ROTC auxiliary building to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Penco Outdoors, for the sum of amount of $215,984. Any questions?
What's the size of this building?
It's a 40 by 60, be 2,400 square feet.
This will include construction space and rifle range and
That is correct, yes, sir.
Because they've been having to use some other,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. They've been using an old building up by the baseball field that was originally a heating facility, and it's just not conducive for what they are doing and the growth that they have experienced, and also holding competitions in instructional space for them to continue to grow that program.
Will this have restrooms in it?
Yes, sir. It will.
Heat and cool?
It will be environmentally controlled. Yes, sir.
I'm sure they'll like that.
I know they would appreciate that very
it's
much.
gonna be where now?
It's going to be right in front of the practice soccer field, around the back of Empower.
Oh, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
The field house.
Right.
yeah.
ROTC uses the old field house for the football stadium. It'll be adjacent to that building, just kind of right next to it.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. Definitely a building worth what that program is doing and the growth it is experiencing. So we're proud to make that recommendation to you and appreciate your consideration in that. Any other questions?
Riflery is a GHSA sport that we do compete in. It is a collegiate. We have students here that will go on scholarship to college for riflery. I also want to say thank you to David and his team. A lot of work during the storm that is unseen, from seeing a skid steer in front of our schools, scraping up ice off the roads, scraping it off the driveways, to shovels and ice picks and ice melt and salt, and a bunch of shoveling. They did not allow me to drive the skid steer, which I was disappointed in, but it was a good call on David's part. But to have to do that 1 week and then turn around and do that, and those are late nights, 9 o'clock, 9:30, David's calling me and telling me we're finished and ready to go. And I'll be honest, the first time we made the call last week, I didn't realize how much work we were going to have to do to get it ready to go to school the next day. And but David and his team at every school, checking with every principal, checking, rechecking, determining what was going to freeze overnight, and just going super far above and beyond. And there were other school districts that neighbor us that couldn't return to school, that had very similar, weather that we had. And the reason why we were able to come a day early is because of David and his team. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, Board. And I appreciate the support and what we need to do that. So thank y'all.
Yes, sir. That does conclude my comment. I do want to say one more thing. Along with David, transportation team, the bus drivers going above and beyond to get students safely to school and safely home. And we had to change a few routes and make a few decisions. And the drivers got the students safely to school and got them safely home. So huge thanks to that team as well.
I'd like to say one thing too. I really appreciate our bus drivers. I know we got a call from ours, just ask for status of our streets leading, going to our house, which I appreciate. And we had a couple of bad spots, but I appreciate that. That meant a lot to us, knowing the bus drivers were taking it upon themselves to call and find out what was going on.
All right, I'd like to thank Dr. Brown for canceling school. And I'm being serious here because sometimes that's not an easy decision because there's so many things involved, but it's always better to err on caution because, you can cancel school and there's nothing happening, but, and then Monday was kind of one of those iffy days, but I'm telling you, he contacts the board, he rides the roads talks with our county folks, and it's a wise call both times we've had to cancel school. And we always want to be in school, but, so Doc, good job. Hopefully you won't have to make that decision the rest of the year. But just wanted to shout out to you too, and all the folks involved in that. This time, we have a need for executive session, so I need a motion to go into executive session. Moved by Mr. Johnson and second by Ms. Wheeler. All in favor? Aye. That is unanimous. We'll be back. Entertain a motion to come back from executive session. Moved by Mr. Wheeler.
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have personnel recommendations from the superintendent. We have a motion to approve those.
So moved.
I'll second. I second.
So, Mr. Johnson.
They were that good?
Double second.